How's it going out there, everybody? DJ Cass, and I am back here to discuss WWE main event for July the 30th, 2020. And let me tell you something, this is probably going to be the quickest one I've done up to date because literally, there are again, two matches, of course, and a heck of a lot of recaps. And it's funny because the stuff that they did recap, it was like the stuff that I was just like, really? Like, must I have to relive this again? But let's not waste any time. Let's just go ahead. But real quick before I do, leave a comment in the comment section and please like this video before and after I get this thing up on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get started. We kicked off with probably the most oddest match I've ever seen up to date. It was, oh my goodness, Riddick Moss one-on-one Titus O'Neil, and people, let me tell you something. If you've ever seen, it was pretty much like watching a football game because of not just because these are like college football players on their respective team, but these guys it was phenomenal. They were just gotta tell like Titus O'Neil, he was I'm not gonna say he was looking good in this match, but he was having a tough time trying to keep up for the most part. And of course, Tom Phillips, of course, back on commentary. MVP is back. Honestly, that's important in this darn match. Confident just he run around with the hurt as the new United States Championship, like the new one that he unveiled. It's like, I get the U.S. title doesn't really mean it, but it's like, get it together. This thing because it's honestly getting annoying and it can get confusing. Back to this, showing a lot of shoulder tackles here and there. At one point, he might be able to get the heat by attacking. This is actually the funniest part of the match where he Tyson near injured left R, but then he immediately goes live with the right one. MVP was like, the right one's fine. It's funny how the way MVP talks about Tyson O'Neil is in his own right, but it's like, he's known as a tag team wrestler with a tag team that should have had much more than what they were given. But yeah, I mean, Riddick Moss, of course, he's the young stud, the young athlete. I keep saying this, like the last 2 weeks I've seen him, like he's impressive. He's got something. And of course, he did get the win over Titus to get the Clash of the Titus, one of my favorite moves in wrestling. But yeah, Riddick Moss got another win, so he is now 3-0 on main event. Like that means, but I'm bringing it up. But the thing is, it's like, when it comes to Riddick Moss, it's like every single time that he's on screen, even on main event, they bring up the fact that he is a former 24/7 champion. At one point, he was the longest reigning 24/7 champion. Like that means anything. You mean to tell me that even you expect me to forget that this dude was pretty much a job guy for the most part when he first debuted? Then he became 24/7 champion. Then he disappeared afterwards. It's like, come on, give it the program already. Alright, we're gonna real quick go through the first of our recaps we had here on the show. They recapped this darn terrible, just god-awful, wretched, never should have been on pay-per-view in general. Why wasn't the title on the line? I hate this feud. This darn Bray Wyatt swamp fight. They recapped this whole thing, and of course I had to have a good and I'm Bliss. I did see the clip from SmackDown this past Friday night of the Fiend attacking Alexa Bliss. I will say this, I did like that. I thought that was really cool. I'll be honest with you, you're probably like me thinking they actually put the mandible claw on a woman and there was no fan backlash. There was no fan backlash for what was a good angle? Who would have thunk it? I was actually legitimately blown away that they did put that on screen because I'm like, man, the fan base is going to go nuts because they're a bunch of sissies. But, I mean, I'm not really hearing that view. And of course, there was another thing that they recapped, which is something that I'm not about to sound. They recapped the bar fight between the first team this, and I give these guys, so I can't really, I try not to get for something that's really out of their control. Like if they're working their rear ends off, I'm gonna put it over. And they did. I will say they find it ridiculous the fact that all it took like Mr. when Sheamus put his hand on Jeff's face, and all of a sudden Jeff has like over and he's all of a sudden different. If you were gonna do that, you might as well have just brought in Willow. I mean, Jeff already got the win. Apparently this feud's over from the Sheamus saying, I'm done with Jeff Hardy. So you lost. Actually didn't pan out well. Alright, now we're getting some recaps. They have the whole Extreme Rules aftermath with the Alexa Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship match at Extreme Rules, which led to the championship match this past Monday night on Raw. From the highlights that I saw, it was pretty good. I'll check it out. Hey, maybe I won't. And here's the thing. I didn't even watch the match, but I heard the result the next morning. And watching it, I'm thinking it's beyond me. Sasha wins out. I didn't know when Christian won the world title via count out back in, and I like it here. It's like, why do we change them on a dime? But it's like, then why doesn't everybody try to protect count out? And I get, but you didn't get that they really eat. The problem today because it just inherently, the championship literally is a joke. It is a flat out joke. It's I'm just not a big fan of what they did here. I think it's the championship. And, Sasha Bailey puts heat on the company because we get so many these shows. So it's like, you do another one here. And wasn't the point of like, and screw the last guy. Not a fan of that. Not a big fan of that at all. What else did we have here on the Raw recap? I'm looking at my notes. Oh yeah, they also recapped the Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black stuff. Which, let me tell you something, I am so sad for Aleister Black. Like, I can't even get into it. I'm so mad. But it's just like Rollins and Dominic. Honestly, if this doesn't lead to a Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, I don't know what they're doing here. Like, seriously. What are we doing here at this point in time? But we'll see what happens there. The second match on WWE main event, our main event match we pretty much had was a very interesting slug fight between Ruby Riott and Shayna Baszler. I really like this match, to be honest with you, because I don't think they've done this match before. If this is my first time seeing it. These guys, once again, much like the first match, beat the ever-living shit out of each other. At one point, like, Ruby Riott was like, come on, get in there, you can't get in here. And it was just like, there were forearm shots left and right. A lot of kicking in the shin and a lot of kicking in the groin. There was this, like, modified crucifix cover that Shayna Baszler did, which it wasn't even a crucifix, really. It was just like it was a modified version of a crucifix. But Ruby Riott looked really good here. I do like the fact that they are bringing up, like, Raw stories on main event. I wish they could do that the other way around for Raw main event, because that honestly would go such a long way when it comes to these wins and losses. But I mean, honestly, what in the world can you do? And eventually, Shayna Baszler hits the high knee, gets her in the Karafuda clutch, and Ruby Riott taps out. And Shayna Baszler's streak continues on main event for 2-0. Again, very good match. Definitely go out of your way to watch this. Please get both these women off main event, even though I like watching their matches, but it's like, Shayna Baszler's above this. Ruby Riott's above this. Well, that's debatable. Alright, and the final recap that we got of the show was Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler, where Drew got to pick the stipulation of the main event of Raw this past Monday. Again, for what I saw, a very good match. But again, why are we going back to this? This is why Raw's doing record low numbers in the third hour when they got 1.463 million viewers. Like, come on. Everybody knew Dolph wasn't going to win. Yeah, like, honestly, that seems to pretty much the theme lately in WWE. It's like, you know the opponent, the opposition is not going to win, so otherwise you don't care. They need to fix that problem. And then, of course, they did a recap of Randy Orton challenging Drew McIntyre for SummerSlam. And, of course, when Drew McIntyre got the victory, I will say this, that Claymore into the table was a very cool spot. Very cool spot. And, of course, McIntyre got the win. As he's celebrating, Randy Orton comes out of nowhere, lays Drew out, and that's how we close the show. I'm very much excited for Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. I think now that is definitely a match that will have a lot of questions moving forward, because you can literally go either way with those two. But we'll see what happens then. Alright, everybody, I've been rambling on too much about a show that doesn't mean much, but hey, you want to know what it means to me? You guys listening. That is it from my end. I am DJ Cass. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Please like this video and subscribe. DJ Cass is out. I will see you around. Later days.